The NBA Cup completed its first week of group play last night, and I must say, it appeared to me that last night's games were substantially better than the opening night game. I mean, we had an overtime game, we had a couple of technical fouls thrown around, and then that crosstown rivalry between the Knicks and the Nets, that was worth watching. And then, of course, we had Jimmy Butler in street clothes wearing a face mask while out with an ankle sprain. What, Jimmy?
Such a distraction. Why are we even talking about that? He just couldn't be in street clothes injured. No, he had to have on the face mask. Then I read one caption that said he was supporting a team member that had one too. No, Jimmy. You do that if you're playing, if you're going to support. Not on the sideline. Such a distraction. You know, I often wonder, what is Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley talking about when they get in their office? That Jimmy Butler, what is going on? You know, I wonder. Oh my God. The camera panning on him, panning to him. I said, oh my God.
And who approved this? Like, I mean, was there a conversation before the game started? Like when they came out, when they were in the locker room, did he say, where's my face mask? And everybody just kind of looked like, dude, what you need one for when you're out with an ankle? I don't know.
He doesn't give me that. You know, he gives me all is well. And at the time of action, he slid it out of his pocket. I mean, that's what he gives me, you know. So then you know, now we live, and then you can do about it. You just looking like, what?
Yeah.
Then you got to go with it. That's what he gives me. He may not do that, of course, but he just gives me like, I got you. That's when he had the perm for his team photos. He just showed up with it. Everybody's like, what?
Yeah. Oh my God. I just think Jimmy Butler is unserious this season in particular. And I think the Miami Heat have already shown, based upon the many absent games that he's had, that they can win without him, because they do have like a new three, right? Bam, Tyler, and Haywood Highsmith. Those are the three for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I think that is the future of the Miami Heat. And, you know, Heat Nation, the front office just needs to get on board. And if they're gonna build a team around anybody, it's no longer building a team around Jimmy Butler. It is a building around Bam Adebayo. Let's just be honest about it. You know, because if he didn't put up his 30 points, then what would they be doing in this particular matchup? So
exactly. Yeah. Do you think that Olympic run really, you know, instilled a lot of confidence in Bam Adebayo? Because that was the first time that I witnessed him shooting a bunch of three balls over the summer for the Olympic Games.
I think I agree. I think that his confidence in shooting three-point shots, and then also the fact that he, you know, has been one of the names thrown regarding Defensive Player of the Year. But that type of stuff really boosts your confidence. You know, they know that he knows that people are looking at him. He knows that he's becoming probably quietly the face of the franchise. So yeah, most definitely. And his confidence is reflected in how he plays the game this season. So I agree.
Yeah, and he might be playing with a little bit of anger too, because as you mentioned, he has been in talks for Defensive Player of the Year, but he hasn't won it yet. Exactly. So if I'm him, I'm gonna grab, you know, 10 defensive rebounds every game. You know, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna get a couple blocks. You know, I'm gonna get some steals, and that's exactly what he did last night with that 30-point performance. 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals. Really just filled the stat sheet, if I'm being honest.
I mean, come on. The only thing he didn't do was block, but he didn't have to, you know, because he did everything else. I mean, 5 steals, his hands was busy. So, yeah. So I think that's really what it is. And fortunately for the Miami Heat, it resulted in a win. So that's really good on that.
Yes. Now, the Indiana Pacers. When I think about the Indiana Pacers, I can't help but think about how they stunk up the joint last season's, what was the in-season tournament, in the finals, just laid down for the LA Lakers to win the championship. Right. So now when I look at the Pacers this season in this tournament, I'm like, are y'all really taking this serious? Because it's not really looking like it. The defense is terrible, but it's been terrible all season. So I just, the Pacers, they ain't going nowhere.
But, you know, sad because they were one of the first teams to take it all the way. They didn't win, but they took it all the way in the inaugural season of the in-season cup. What is in-season tournament NBA Cup? right?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
then to now have their second go round, and this is a performance we're looking at the first game from them. That's not good. That's not good. When we know, I don't know, the Indiana Pacers just looks different this season, although everything appears to be the same. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about their face of the franchise. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton,
Mhm.
he battled a hamstring at the end of last season. And I
Right.
often wonder if it's still kind of bothering him this season, maybe because those are, hamstrings are lingering injuries. They could flare up at any given moment.
Mhm.
And I remember last season, he was averaging like double digit assists. That was the big thing. Like, oh my God, 15
Yeah.
assists.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering, like, are his teammates just not making shots so he can't get the assists, or is he not passing the ball like he was last season?
Probably not passing the ball.
Mm,
Maybe. And it may have, not only that, if Tyrese Halliburton, for some reason, is unable to get it going, that's why they brought in Pascal Siakam. That's why he's there to help, cover some of that gap. And Pascal, what happened? Your
yeah,
14 points did what? Come on. For
minus
30 minutes?
25.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Pedestrian at best. Not
Yeah.
enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. So again, if you can't get, if you don't have it going on offense, that's when your defense kicks in. So it would be much better if the outcome of this loss would have been, but that defense was rocking. At least
Hmm.
that. At least that. You can't say that for the Indiana Pacers. That's horrible. Mm-mm.
Yep, and that's going to be a problem for them. That's why I don't think they're going to go anywhere this season. And then I'm wondering too, is because they made it to the mountaintop of the
Mhm.
tournament last season, are they just like, it's okay to drop a few games. We'll make it to the finals. No, you won't. Not
No,
this.
because these,
No, not this season.
let's just not forget the underlying foundation for this is still a part of the standings. So although
Yes.
these are NBA Cup games, this game counts as your overall record for the season, which will determine your standings when it comes down to playoffs. What are we saying? Indiana Pacers, no, because right now you are eighth in the East. And if you keep playing like this, you're gonna find yourself below the line of 10.
You're going to be down there with the Philadelphia
You're gonna
76ers.
be
Keep
down
on.
there exactly, and that's where you don't want to be. So come on, yeah. So I expect
Mhm.
more from them, especially since they know the journey it takes to get to the final game of the NBA Cup, and they're not even putting forth effort to do it. And maybe it was just a bit off night for them. Perhaps the next time they play their tournament game, it'll be a lot better. But they have to do something. I expected more from them. We didn't get
Mhm. The only shining star for me was Obi Toppin off the bench,
it. Mhm.
right? OB, he's up and down. At least last season he was. But last night, 21 points, 3 rebounds, shot the three ball fairly well, 3 of 5. Not too bad. They needed OB in every single point last night, even though it was in the loss. But it just shows that at least he played with a little bit of heart. Because they could have
Right.
folded very early in this game.
They did what they could, but again, Miami Heat lit them up in quarters 2 and 3. So there was really no
Mhm.
recovery after that for the
Right.
Indiana Pacers. Mm-hmm.
Pacers are playing without Aaron Nesmith, who's one of my faves, and Andrew Nembhard. I mean, there go your defensive players right there, but they were
That is
out
true. And they were active last season during the in-season tournament. You are correct. NBA Cup. They
very
were. You're
much.
right. Very missing. There are missing pieces on their defensive scheme with the Indiana Pacers for sure. For sure.
Hmm. Okay, so the Miami Heat got the victory 124-111.
Mm-hmm.
Real easy. But
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about this other game later in the day. It was the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Sacramento Kings. My goodness. We are going to see De'Aaron Fox and Anthony Edwards go at it for the remainder of their career. I mean, it was just beautiful.
Hmm. You know what? This is the matchup that I know you have been anticipating since De'Aaron Fox came into the league along with Lonzo Ball. You were like, that's the rival. We want to see what that looks like. Whatever jersey Lonzo Ball wears, right?
Hmm.
But no, now we got a real one. because Anthony Edwards is not going back down. And I love that about his game.
Yep, he's not backing down. Even though De'Aaron Fox, he put up 60 points with a hobbled primary hand, fingers still taped up. 60 points, franchise record.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. But I must say, there were periods of the game where he was double and triple teamed, and he still managed to shoot the ball and make it. That's cool because it went in. But I'm telling you, if he was clanking, bricking, that would not, we will be talking about this very differently right now.
That's true. That's true. And unfortunately, the Kings, they were missing two critical players that helps them with their wins, and that was DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk. So, unfortunately, De'Aaron Fox, with these 60 points, felt like he had to put the whole team on his back. I mean, he's going to do that anyway, but usually his counterpart, they brought in DeMar DeRozan to help, with those instances where he's double teamed, right? Because if he was on the floor, he could have shot the ball. He could have assisted the ball over to DeMar DeRozan or Malik Monk, if you will, if they were in the game. He could have helped with that. So maybe he would not have had his historic 60 points. So I don't know.
Yeah, that is something to think about because I think with DeMar and Malik, you looking at easy 30, 40 points that they could have gotten for the Sacramento Kings.
Totally. I just wonder, will the league really, really highlight and showcase De'Aaron Fox's 60 points? Because had that had been Luka Doncic, it would have been top page, in all sports talk. So I hope that they really give him his flowers because 60 points is not easy. If it was, what's his name? Giannis Antetokounmpo, it would be top of mind. So we'll see what next week looks like once the national sports channels start talking about the games this weekend. I wonder if they're going to really, really highlight what De'Aaron Fox put up. Unfortunately, in the loss, but still put up anyway for his personal and historic.
Yeah, and he didn't even look tired. I was watching him. I'm like, man, this guy, he's got a motor, And I just,
balling. And for him to be out there really with an injury and not sit out is commendable because right now, I mean, a peaky toe strain may put a player on the bench. So, they don't want to tape up their pinky toe and the toe next to it. They're not going to do that, right?
I know, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so wait a minute. The Minnesota Timberwolves, I know we know Ant, he did what he did. But his supporting cast last night, Julius Randle, okay, got 26 points, but he had 4 turnovers. He did not take care of the ball really well. Scored most of his points from the free throw line, went 8 for 20 from the field, and played 41 minutes. Hey, it's not a really good game for Julius Randle to me for his standard. I didn't really like the way he played last night.
Oh my gosh, that's your guy too.
Yeah. Yep. I think the whole duo between Ant and De'Aaron Fox kind of put a lot of the focus on them, and both of them were taking it serious. So it's just like, how do you get everybody else involved when we go in toe for toe? I can't let him one up me. I can't, so they just kind of kept going back and forth, and that's what we witnessed. But as you know, hey, Minnesota Timberwolves, when they're clicking, when you got Dante DiVincenzo clicking, which he was not clicking last night, when you got Naz Reid doing his thing, they are a really deep team. And we ain't even talking about the Mike Conleys of the world. We ain't getting nothing from Rudy Gobert. I just said, Rudy Gobert, this is...
Don't you talk about NBA's Defensive Player of the Year. Cut that out. Matter of fact, 3 times. Let me get it right. Let me get it right. Don't talk about him.
Whatever. He had his little double, 11 points and 11 rebounds, but I'm just not impressed. I felt like he was a spectator a lot on defense last night. Can't do that. You're Defensive Player of the Year. You're supposed to be in the mix. Spectating.
Anyway, I'm not today. Not today, Rudy. You get a grace today.
Okay. Earlier in the season, you talked about the Minnesota Timberwolves picking up Joe Ingles, and you were all excited. You were like, "Hey, maybe we can get Joe Ingles from the Utah Jazz." But what the Wolves ended up getting was Joe Ingles from the Orlando Magic.
That's what That's what they got. Oh my the goop that just happened. Holy.
Joe Ingles. Best
So
days are behind him because
the best days are behind him. Funny though. And see, why the box score show zero all across his stat line? Really?
just put DNP, coach's
Just put
decision.
DMP. Like,
Yeah.
don't do him like that. That's so wrong. So that means that's wrong.
You know what? Maybe he got in for like a couple seconds.
No, he stood at the table.
He checked into the game and never got in.
Oh, yeah, I was on board for Joe. That
Mm-hmm.
sniper with a jazz uniform on? What?
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Nope. I had a feeling
Man,
they were gonna
man.
get Joe Ingles from the Magic and not the Jazz. I had a feeling.
I do really like Nikhil Alexander Walker. I like the fact that he gets the chance to play and kind of be in the mix for a few minutes that he's in the game. I like that every now and then. It's good
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
good for the
yeah.
Timberwolves as well. Yeah.
He's a good piece. But you know what
Mhm.
though? I feel like Dante DiVincenzo is underused or not used properly because he was so important for the New York Knicks. I feel like he doesn't have that same weight here with the Wolves. And it's starting to show in his play.
Oh, no. Are they preserving him for when it gets closer to the end of the season? Is that when they're gonna kick it in for him? Because if you watch Dante DiVincenzo play last with the Knicks, there is no way his role should be diminished in any fashion
Mm-hmm.
with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So they have to figure out a way to really utilize him and utilize his skills as best. If they need to watch tape from last season and see how he can get in, they need to do that. Because I don't want his talent to be wasted because he was a huge, huge factor on the success of the Knicks last season. And I think he can really be an added value, especially right as we continue with the season and into the postseason. So.
Oh, absolutely. Because remember when everybody went out with the Knicks,
Mm-hmm.
DiVincenzo was the main one carrying
Ball,
them.
balling
Yeah.
consistently too. That's what I'm saying. We have players in the league that are inconsistent. Dante DiVincenzo is not one of them. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
But if he doesn't feel like he's part of the team, I think this is what you see. I mean, he was out there for 19 minutes. That's cute. But he only had 3 points and he was minus 14 in a plus minus column. That's not the Dante DiVincenzo I know.
I agree, 100%.
Okay. So the Minnesota Timberwolves got the victory 130 to 126 in overtime. De'Aaron Fox's 60 points. Hey, didn't mean a whole lot.
For the overall win, but it did mean a lot for the history of the franchise and
Yeah,
for his personal accolades. So yeah, but
that's
the win
cute.
is what you want because that helps you in your standings.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when he scored half the points. I mean, if you look at it,
Isn't that
126.
crazy?
Yeah.
60.
So, all right. So, the next group of in-season tournament games won't take place until Tuesday of next week. I can't wait because the Cavs
Mm.
and the Celtics get down. Oh, is it going to be the Cavs' first loss?
Will it be? What? Oh my goodness! How many games they play until that matchup? Let me look real quick. They're 14-0 right now as we
Yeah.
speak.
Yes. And they were down against the Bulls last night. I was like, oh, shoot. They going to let a
If-
bum team beat them? Nope.
no,
Ain't
not gonna
that.
happen. Oh
Mm,
my
mm,
gosh,
mm.
the Cavs look really good.
Ooh, they just spanking everybody. Let me
They're
see.
14-0.
Oh, so they play the Charlotte Hornets today. Oh, tomorrow. And that's it. And then they go to Boston. Oh my God. Oh, I can't
Ooh,
wait to watch that game.
will they get their loss in Boston?
Mm,
Hmm.
mm, mm. Oh, it's on TNT too. I cannot wait for
Yeah, that's
that
gonna
one.
be good. That is gonna be the NBA Cup matchup right now, for sure, for sure. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you that Darius Garland, ooh, That confidence this season is out of this world. I am here for it.
Yeah, he's finally getting his flowers. I'm happy for him. You know what though?
Mhm.
But even when they play the Boston Celtics, Boston still got Porzingis in their back pocket. Still not healthy. So even if the Cavs beat them, this is not who the Celtics are going to be at the end of the season. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I tell you though, Cavs ride the wave. You hear me? And
Hmm.
their season started off so great that if they were to lose against the Boston Celtics or the Charlotte Hornets for that matter, I would not be disappointed. A loss is going to happen. Now we're on loss watch. It's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, it's just part of the game. But if they can ride it as long as they can, I say, oh my God, go for it. And they're playing, and it's great basketball, right? They
Hmm.
look great, just look great. Hands,
Yeah.
hands, hands everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Really good defense, high pace. I mean, Kenny
Yes.
Atkinson got to be feeling real good about his coaching skills right about now.
He looking good. I'm talking about one of the front runners of Coach of the Year. Gotta be.
Yeah, yeah. So can't wait for that.